The Nyokpao-led working committee of the Naga National Political Group's NNPG criticized the letter by 21 opposition member of parliament to Union Home Minister Amit Shah, stating that misinterpretation of the peace process have worsened the situation. Working committee stressed the need for political consensus and highlighted its engagement with Naga stakeholders leading to the signing of the agreed position with the Government of India. It asserted that while agreed position was publicly endorsed, the framework agreement remains secretive and exclusive to NSC and IM. Accusing the Global Naga Forum GNF of fueling division, Working Committee urged it to clarify framework agreement's meaning and explain why agreed position should be seen as a counter agreement. It reaffirmed that framework agreement was for the IM, by the IM and lacked inclusivity. Working committee blamed NSC and IM for retracting from the 2019 declaration and spreading propaganda to avoid scrutiny. It concluded that NSC and IM's exclusivity remains the main obstacle to a Naga political solution. The Working Committee of the Naga National Political Groups NNPGs led by N. Kitovi Zimomi asserted that there is no comparison between the framework agreement and the agreed position. Responding to NSC and IM recent statement, the Working Committee emphasized that the agreed position was clear, recognizing the historical and political rights of the Nagas to self-determine their future based on contemporary realities. The Working Committee criticized the framework agreement signed on August 3, 2015 for omitting crucial historical events such as the 1951 plebiscite, the 1947 Naga Independence Declaration, and the 1929 Simon Commission Memorandum. The committee accused NSC and IM of mispresenting history and ignoring key issues like Naga sovereignty, flag and constitution while settling for shared sovereignty. It also questioned why the competency clause in the framework agreement remains undisclosed. Further, the Working Committee alleged that NSC and IM lack understanding of the broader Naga movement, particularly those from Manipur who were unaware of struggles in other Naga regions. It urged Nagas from neighboring states to let Nagaland peoples handle their own issues, stating that freedom and integration had been buried through the framework agreement. Stressing the need for a practical approach, the Working Committee called on Nagas to focus on a solution that ensures self-determination without external interference, securing the future of younger generation in the respective regions. The All Nagaland Electricity Field Workers Association ANEFWA has issued a 30-day ultimatum to the Department of Power DOP to address its 10-point demand. In an ultimatum addressed to Engineer-in-Chief ANEFWA President Vatanu Kezo, General Secretary Vema Sakera, Vice President 1 Boka Hosema, Vice President 2 Wenlao Konyak, Assistant General Secretary Lematoshi Pongan, Finance Secretary Yapile Chakrono, Action Committee Chairman Gonito Chishi and Treasurer K. Dominic stated that despite multiple representation, the department had failed to resolve critical issues causing hardship to its members. Following an executive meeting on February 7, 2025, ANEFWA unanimously resolved to demand immediate action on pending regularization of OMS Jugali E, promotions for all cadres, creation of 849 posts due to staff shortage, finalization of draft subordinate service rules, reinstatement of risk allowance, payment of one-time unpaid uniform allowance, provision of pool vehicles and safety toolkits, establishment of rest houses and posthumous regularization with ex gratia for deceased employees. ANEFWA warned that failure to meet these demands within 30 days would result in phase-wise democratic agitation after the ultimatum expires. Gaunbra Union Dimapur Sadar GBUDS in its executive meeting unanimously reaffirmed its February 2021 resolution to oppose the prepaid electric billing system. In a press release, GBUDS President W. Kolekapfo and General Secretary T. Onanjare stated that the resolution was jointly adopted with Dimapur Urban Council Chairman Federation DUCCF. The union argued that the prepaid system was disadvantageous in terms of practicability and technicality, while the digital postpaid meter billing system was effective and tamper-proof. Questioning the rationale behind the prepaid system, GBUDS alleged it promoted private sector monopoly and privatization at the cost of the consumer. It demanded clarification from the Power Department on whether prepaid meters would ensure better supply, affordability and refunds for digital meter installation. Until such clarifications are provided, GBUDS asserted that prepaid meter installation should not be mandatory. The union affirmed its willingness to cooperate with the Power Department but remained opposed to a prepaid system for the common people's welfare. GBUDS and DUCCF resolved to oppose prepaid meters in urban colonies until the Power Department adequately explained its benefits. The Naga Students Federation NSF has appealed to Nagaland University NU Vice Chancellor to reserve 80% of teaching and non-teaching position for indigenous Naga candidates of Nagaland to promote local talent and expertise. In a representation, NSF President Madhavi Ree and Secretary Education Tamjin Toshi cited Article 371A, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing local employment. NSF pointed out that non-indigenous staff often seek transfer, causing academic disruption, whereas the local staff ensure continuity, accountability, and alignment with Nagaland's socio-cultural fabric. The Federation highlighted youth unemployment, stating that preference for qualified Naga candidate would strengthen the university with dedicated professionals committed to long-term service. NSF also raised concerns with virtual interviews for faculty recruitment, arguing there is unfair evaluation and lack transparency. It urged the university to conduct physical, in-person interviews to ensure credibility, proper assessment, and document verification.